Welcome to Ancient Mythology for Sleep, the channel that helps you drift into peaceful rest each night. Tonight's story: Life as Athena's Weaver in the Temple of Ancient Athens for Sleep. Narrated by Shelby. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and let the ancient world carry you. The first light arrives not as a brightness, but as a warmth against your closed eyelids. You lie on your narrow pallet in the small chamber adjoining the great temple, and you feel the stone floor beneath your mat, cool, still, unyielding, though the air above you has begun to change. Somewhere beyond the high window, Athens is waking, the city of Athena, your city, your goddess. You open your eyes to find the darkness already softening at the edges. The oil lamp you left burning through the night has grown dim, its flame a tiny, exhausted thing. You do not snuff it yet. Instead, you watch it flicker, watching as the natural light of early dawn begins its slow conquest of shadow. This is the threshold time, the moment between night's realm and day's claiming. Everything feels suspended. The distant sound of a rooster's cry travels up from the lower city, thin and clear in the cool air. You rise slowly, your joints stiff from sleep. The stone is cold against your bare feet, a shock that travels up through your legs and settles in your lower back. This coldness is familiar now, after 2 years of waking this way. 2 years since you were chosen to serve in the temple. 2 years of starting each day with this small shock of stone and chill. And each morning it feels like an offering in itself, your comfort surrendered to the demands of sacred work. The chamber is sparse: a pallet, a wooden chest containing your few possessions, 2 additional chitons, a comb made of olive wood, strips of linen cloth, a bronze mirror. Dark and dull in the pre-dawn gloom, the walls around you are limestone, fitted so precisely that your fingers cannot find the gaps between stones. High above, the window is merely an opening cut into the thickness of the wall. No glass, no shutters, just an opening. Through it, you can now see the sky shifting from deep blue-gray toward something lighter. Somewhere in that direction, Mount Hymettus rises beyond the city, and somewhere beyond that, the sea. And as you listen, let the temple settle around you, solid and still, the way stone has always been, the way it will always be. You move to the window and place your palms flat against the stone sill. The rock is still cool, but warmer than it was an hour ago. Already the temperature is beginning its daily climb. Below, the city is coming alive. You hear the first merchants beginning to set up their stalls in the agora far below. The sound carries strangely in the early morning, voices detached from their owners, drifting up between buildings like ghosts. But your work does not wait for full daylight. You turn from the window and move through the darkness of the chamber with practiced ease, your bare feet knowing the path by habit rather than sight. 3 steps to the chest. You open it, and the smell that rises from within is complex: cedar, wool, and something else, something ancient, the scent of stone dust and incense that has settled into the cloth over months and years. The incense is warm and resinous, like a living thing breathing slowly in the dark, like it has soaked into every thread and every fiber, until the cloth itself has become something sacred. You withdraw a fresh chiton, undyed linen that has been folded since it was laundered. The fabric feels dry and slightly stiff between your fingers as you pull it over your head, drawing it down your arms and body. You tie it at your waist with a cord of twisted wool. No jewelry, no ornament. You are a servant of Athena, not a maiden of means. You gather your hair back and bind it with a simple strip of linen, tucking the ends away so nothing will fall into the work. Your hands move through these motions with the quietness of ritual. Everything here is ritual. Everything here is offering. The temple proper is accessed through a narrow passageway that connects the servants' quarters to the sacred space itself. You emerge from your chamber into this passage, and immediately the air changes. It is cooler here, and the smell shifts. No longer that close and impersonal smell of your small room, but something more vast and impersonal. This is the smell of the temple itself. Stone, yes, and incense, but also age. The smell of decades, perhaps centuries of worship, accumulated, like an invisible presence in the air. Your eyes have adjusted enough now to see by the pale light filtering through occasional openings in the passage wall. Your feet know this path perfectly. The passage slopes slightly upward as it leads towards the interior of the temple, and the stone beneath your soles shifts from smooth, worn smooth by countless footsteps, to slightly rougher where repairs have been made over the years. You feel yourself becoming heavier, your thoughts growing quieter with each slow step along the passage, each footfall carrying you deeper into rest. You emerge into the back reaches of the great chamber, and even in the dim light, even knowing what awaits you, you feel the familiar catch in your breath. The temple is never fully dark. High above, near the ceiling, openings in the roof allow starlight and the earliest dawn light to penetrate downward. As your eyes continue to adjust, the vast space begins to reveal itself to you. Massive columns rise like stone giants, their fluted surfaces catching the pale light and creating deep shadows between each groove. The scent here is overwhelmingly rich. Frankincense, myrrh, and the faint complex smell of oil burning in the numerous small lamps that have been kept alight through the night. The frankincense rises in slow threads, sweet and resinous, filling every corner of the high ceiling, until breathing here feels like breathing something sacred itself. The air itself feels thick, almost textured, as if the prayers of countless worshippers have somehow given substance to the atmosphere. Your feet, still bare, know the exact path to the weaving room. You move along the outer wall of the chamber, your fingertips brushing the cool stone as you walk. The touch of the wall is reassuring. Grounding. It keeps you oriented in this space that still feels, after 2 years, like it might swallow you if you are not careful. The weaving room is a smaller chamber adjoining the main temple hall. This is your domain. And as you step through its threshold, you feel something shift in your chest, something that might be called contentment, if you allowed yourself such a word. The looms dominate the space. There are 3 of them. Massive wooden structures with arms as thick as tree limbs. The warp threads stretch between the top and bottom bars, creating a forest of pale, vertical lines. Even in the near darkness, you can see them. Hundreds of threads, thousands perhaps, all waiting for your hands to begin the day's work. Let your mind drift into the gentle forest of pale threads, into the quietness of sacred work waiting to begin. You move to the first loom, the one nearest the eastern wall where the light comes earliest. Your fingers find the shuttle lying on the wooden bench beside the loom. The shuttle is smooth and worn, polished by the friction of countless passes through the warp. You lift it, and the familiar weight of it in your palms settles something inside you. This is what you were trained for. This is your purpose. But before the work begins, there is the morning ritual. You turn away from the loom and move to the small altar, set into the corner of the weaving room. It is a humble affair compared to the great altar in the main temple, just a stone shelf set against the wall, topped with a bronze surface worn thin from years of offerings. Upon it sits a small clay figure of Athena, no more than the span of your hand in height. The goddess is depicted in her armor, her spear raised, her owl at her feet. Her face is severe, wise, eternally watchful. You light a small oil lamp before the figure, a task that requires care and attention. You have a small portion of olive oil in a clay vessel, kept specifically for this purpose. Using a thin reed, you fill the tiny lamp's reservoir, then use a flint to spark the lighting. It takes a moment for the spark to catch, and you wait with patience, knowing that the goddess does not reward haste or carelessness. On your third attempt, the spark catches the oil, and a small flame blooms. You step back. The lamplight is barely visible in the pale dawn coming through the window, but you know it is there. You know Athena sees it. You bow slightly, though there is no one to observe this gesture but the stone walls and the goddess herself. "I am here," you whisper. Not a prayer, exactly. More of an acknowledgement, a statement of presence, of readiness. The warmth surrounds you, the way lamplight has always warmed the faithful, the way this small flame has warmed this small room across years beyond counting. The light outside has continued to change while you have been inside. The pre-dawn gray has shifted towards something with more color in it, the faintest blush of rose at the edges of the sky. It is the time when the city truly begins to wake, when servants and merchants emerge from their houses to begin the work of the day. You return to the first loom and seat yourself on the low wooden bench positioned before it. The shuttle is ready in your lap. The warp threads stretch before you like the strings of some enormous instrument. You take a deep breath, and you begin. The motion is automatic now, the result of 2 years of training with the older weavers who served before you. You draw the shuttle through the warp from left to right, and the weft thread unrolls behind it, settling into place. You reach the end of the warp, and your hands know exactly how to reverse the shuttle, how to position it for the return pass. Back through the warp from right to left, the weft thread creating a new row beneath the first. Your feet work the pedals that control certain sections of the warp, raising and lowering them in the precise sequence required for the pattern that you and the other weavers are creating. The pattern is not arbitrary. You are weaving a tapestry that will hang in the main temple, depicting scenes from the myths, Athena's birth from Zeus's head, her contest with Poseidon, her gift of the olive tree to Athens. The work will take months, perhaps a year or more. Hundreds of hours of labor. Your hands and feet working in concert with the other weavers to create something that will outlast you, that will be seen by worshipers for generations to come. For now, though, you are working on one small section, a detail of Athena's armor. The metallic threads that represent gold have been dyed and prepared, and they catch what little light exists in the room, creating small gleams of brightness within the larger pattern. Your hands move with increasing sureness as the light continues to grow. The rhythm is meditative, almost hypnotic. Pass the shuttle through. Reverse. Return. The sound of the shuttle moving through the warp creates a soft, repetitive whisper. There is nothing to do now but rest and let the shuttle move through the warp, back and forth, like breathing itself. You do not hear Callista enter. You only realize she is there when her shadow falls across the loom, a shadow made visible by the growing daylight. "You have started early," she says. Her voice is rough, marked by age and a lifetime of breathing in the fine wool dust that rises from the looms. Callista has been a weaver in the temple for 30 years. She remembers when you were chosen, remembers your first terrified attempts at the shuttle. You do not turn from your work, but you acknowledge her with a small nod. "The light was good enough," you say quietly. "The light is still poor," Callista says, but it is not a rebuke. She moves past you toward the second loom, where she settles herself with a small sound, not quite a groan, but close to it. Age has made her movements less fluid, but no less purposeful. But good. Better to begin early than to rush in the afternoon heat. Callista picks up her own shuttle, and soon the sound of 2 looms working fills the small chamber. The whisper of the shuttles passes through the warp in counterpoint, creating a rhythm that feels almost like conversation, though no words are exchanged. This, too, is ritual, the morning work, done largely in silence, with only the soft sounds of the looms themselves to fill the space. The light continues to improve. Gradually, the eastern window of the weaving room transitions from pale gray to golden. The rays of the new sun begin to slant through the opening, and suddenly the room is transformed. The dust motes that float perpetually in the air from the wool fibers become visible, turning the light into something almost solid, something you feel you could reach out and touch. With the growing light, you can see the work more clearly. The tapestry is coming alive under your hands. Where before there were only abstract patterns of thread, now you can see the details. The curve of Athena's shoulders, the texture of her armor, the way the threads have been chosen and dyed to suggest dimension and light. And as you listen, the 2 looms breathe together in the golden morning, whispering their soft and ancient rhythm just for you. You work through the morning, and gradually the temple around you comes to life. You hear the priests beginning their morning rituals in the main chamber, the low chant of their prayers reaching you as a kind of background vibration. You smell new incense being lit. Myrrh this morning, you think, though the scent is complex enough that you cannot be entirely certain. The myrrh is deep and dark, sweeter than wood smoke, but heavier than flowers, and it drifts through every passage and chamber until the whole temple breathes with it. Footsteps echo in the passages, servants moving from place to place with purpose and quiet efficiency. By the time the sun has climbed high enough to shine directly into your window, you have completed 3 full sections of the pattern. Your shoulders have begun to ache slightly from the repetitive motion, and there is a tension developing between your shoulder blades. But it is the good kind of ache, the kind that comes from purposeful work, from muscles engaged in their intended function. Callista is working on a different section of the same tapestry, at a different loom, creating threads and colors that will eventually join with your work and those of the other weavers to form a unified whole. You have never discussed this with her, but you understand it perfectly. Each of you is part of something larger than yourself. Each of you serves not just the work, but the pattern, and the pattern serves the goddess. Around midday, because the light has shifted toward that particular white brightness that noon brings, there is a change in the atmosphere of the temple. The chanting in the main chamber grows louder, more emphatic. You recognize the pattern. This is the midday offering, when citizens from the city below come to present gifts to Athena and to ask for her blessing. You do not stop working. Your hands continue their rhythm, passing the shuttle, reversing, returning. But you become aware of the sounds of the worshippers, their footsteps, their murmured prayers, the soft chiming of the small bronze bells that mark the beginning and end of the formal offering ritual. You feel yourself becoming heavier, held gently in place by the rhythm of the bells, the rhythm of the shuttle, the rhythm of your own slow breath. The sounds do not distract you. If anything, they add to the sense of purpose that surrounds the work. You are part of this, part of the sacred function of the temple, the offerings that are being made in the main chamber, the prayers that are being spoken, the rituals that are being observed. All of it is connected to what you do here at your loom. The tapestry you are weaving is itself an offering, a gift to the goddess, made not of gold or incense or livestock, but of time, of attention, of the daily discipline of your hands moving in their ancient patterns. Your arms have developed a rhythm that requires less and less conscious thought. The shuttle moves through the warp almost of its own accord now, guided by knowledge that has moved from your thinking mind into your hands themselves. It is a state that the older weavers sometimes speak of, though never directly, a state of working that is no longer work, but something closer to prayer. The heat of the day is building now. You can feel it even here in the stone chamber, though the thick walls and the lack of direct afternoon sunlight keep it from becoming unbearable. The warmth seeps through the stone slowly, like something patient and kind, wrapping itself around your shoulders and settling along your arms until sitting at the loom feels like sitting inside something cradling and still. There is a quality to the light that is different from the morning. It is harder, more direct, without the softness of the early hours. Callista has taken a brief break. She sits on her bench, her hands resting in her lap, looking out the window at the sliver of Athens visible from this angle. You do not ask her if she is well, and she does not explain herself. It is understood. The work is long, and the body sometimes requires rest, however brief. "The color's good," she says eventually, apparently at random, though you know she is looking at your section of the tapestry. The thread dyers have done well this batch. The reds are particularly strong, you agree quietly. The crimson, especially. Callista nods. "Athena will see that we have done good work," she says. It is the closest she comes to expressing satisfaction. And you know it for what it is. high praise. The warmth surrounds you, the crimson threads glowing in the midday light, and the goddess watches over all of it, serene and eternal. You continue your work through the heat of midday, aware that you are part of a tradition that extends far back into the past and will extend far forward into the future. The looms that surround you, though only one other is in use today, have been worked by generations of weavers serving the goddess. The threads you pass through the warp have been spun by other devoted hands. The dyes that color those threads have been created by still other servants of Athena, extracting color from plants and insects and minerals, coaxing out the exact shades required for the sacred work. You are one small part of an intricate web, and the loom before you is both your personal station and your point of connection to something vastly larger than yourself. This understanding, which might seem overwhelming or even frightening, instead brings a quiet peace. You are where you are meant to be. Your hands are doing what they were trained to do. The goddess watches over the work, and you are content in that watching. The afternoon light falls differently through the temple columns. It's softer now, less demanding than the bright white heat of midday. You feel the change in your body, a gentle settling, as though the goddess herself is signaling that the most intensive work of the day is done. You set down your shuttle and stretch your shoulders, rolling them slowly backward. The motion sends a ripple of pleasant relief through your upper back. Around you, the other weavers are moving with less urgency too. The morning's focused energy has mellowed into something quieter, more meditative. A few of the younger apprentices have begun organizing the dyed threads by color, arranging them in soft gradations. Indigo to violet to pale lavender. It's soothing work, this ordering of hues. You decide to step away from the loom for a moment. Your eyes need rest from the detailed pattern work, and your hands welcome the break. The marble floor is cool beneath your bare feet as you walk toward the open colonnade that faces west. This is your favorite time to walk here. The afternoon light has turned everything golden. The stone glows as if lit from within, and the shadows beneath the columns have deepened into rich purples and blues. Beyond the temple grounds, you can see the city of Athens sprawling below. The rooftops are rust-colored terracotta, and even from this height, you can hear the distant sounds of daily life continuing. The calls of merchants, the occasional laughter of children, the creak of carts. But these sounds feel far away, dreamlike. Up here, in Athena's sanctuary, there is a profound quietness that nothing down below can fully disturb. And as you listen, you notice how completely that quietness has settled into you. It moves through your chest like still water. It rests behind your eyes and at the base of your throat, soft and unhurried. You lean against one of the columns, feeling the ancient stone, worn smooth by countless hands and centuries of weather. It is solid, eternal. You've touched this same column hundreds of times, and each time you do, you feel connected to something vast and unchanging. The stone holds a faint warmth from the long afternoon sun, a warmth that presses gently against your shoulder and the flat of your palm, as though the column itself is offering rest. That warmth moves slowly through the surface of your skin, spreading in quiet waves down through your arm, settling deep into your muscles until they soften without effort. Athena's presence is strongest here in the afternoon light. You can almost sense her wisdom flowing through the very architecture, through the threads you weave, through the dust that catches and glows in the sunbeams. The shadows are growing longer now. You glance back toward the loom rooms and decide it's time to return to your work. The afternoon is not yet over, and there is still one more section of the peplos to complete before the light becomes too dim to work. You move back inside, back to your station, back to the rhythm of the loom. The threads respond to your touch, as they always do, as if they've been waiting for your hands. Left shuttle, right shuttle. The heddle rises and falls. Your fingers have learned this dance so completely that they move almost without conscious thought. This is when your mind can wander, when the work becomes meditation. You think of the goddess, as you often do. Athena, the wise. Athena, the protector. Athena, whose favor has blessed this temple and all who work within it. You work steadily through the late afternoon, and slowly, imperceptibly, the light begins to change again. The golden quality that defined the early afternoon deepens into something more amber, more honey-like. The shadows grow longer, reaching across the stone floors like dark fingers. The air feels cooler now, too, the warmth of the day beginning its quiet retreat. Your work slows naturally, matching the slowing of the light. There is no rush. Your supervisor has already indicated that the peplos will not be finished for several more days. There is no urgency, no pressure. This is the nature of sacred work. It unfolds in its own time, at its own pace. Hurrying would be disrespectful to both the goddess and the craft. Let your mind drift into the rhythm of the threads, into the amber light moving across the stone floor, into the unhurried pace of this sacred afternoon, slowly becoming evening. As the afternoon transitions into early evening, the other weavers begin their closing rituals. You watch as one elder woman carefully covers her loom, draping a clean linen cloth over the threads to protect them overnight from dust and accidents. Another younger weaver is gathering the scraps of thread that have accumulated throughout the day, collecting them in a small basket for the dyers to incorporate into other projects. Nothing is wasted here. Everything serves a purpose. You complete the final passes with your shuttle for the day, then gently set it down. Your fingers are marked with small indentations where the shuttle's edges have pressed into your skin, badges of the day's work. You flex your hands slowly, feeling the pleasant ache of muscles, well used and properly stretched. The temple bells begin to ring. The sound is deep and resonant, echoing across the sanctuary and out through the columns and away into the open sky. This is the signal that marks the transition from day to evening. In the marketplace below, vendors are packing up their wares. Families are gathering for their evening meal. The rhythm of the day is slowing toward its natural conclusion. You move to the washing station, where a stone basin holds cool water drawn fresh this morning from the sacred spring. You dip your hands into it, and the coolness is shocking and pleasant. As you wash away the dust and thread fibers, you watch the water swirl with tiny colors, hints of the dyes you've been working with all day: indigo and crimson, amber and violet, all mixing together in the clear water, creating momentary clouds of color before settling and fading. The warmth surrounds you, the last golden light catching the water's surface, the stone of the basin still holding the heat of the long day against your wrists, the gentle sounds of the other weavers moving softly nearby. You are held completely within the peace of this hour. The other weavers are washing too, and there is a comfortable silence among you. The silence of people who have worked well together, who understand each other without needing words. As the evening deepens, several of the women begin to light the oil lamps. The flames catch and grow, small golden spheres of light that begin to push back against the growing darkness. You step back outside into the colonnade. The sun is now low on the horizon, and the sky has transformed into something breathtaking. The upper reaches are still a deep blue, but near the horizon the colors graduate through layers of pink, coral, peach, and gold. The clouds catch the dying light and glow from within. It's the kind of beauty that makes your chest ache slightly. The beauty of transience, of something precious and perfect that you know will fade in just a few moments. The stars are beginning to appear in the darkening blue. First one, then another, then suddenly there are many. A scattered handful of silver points against the deepening darkness. You stand very still, watching them emerge. This is one of your favorite moments of the day. This transition between the world of light and the world of night. A threshold, a pause, a moment of perfect balance. A breeze begins to pick up, moving gently across the temple grounds. It carries the scent of the evening, cool stone, the fading warmth of the day, absorbed and now releasing from the marble. The green smell of growing things from the gardens below the temple. You breathe deeply, allowing the evening air to fill your lungs completely. You feel yourself becoming heavier, your shoulders dropping just slightly, your feet pressing more fully into the cool stone beneath you, your breath releasing longer and slower than before. The body knows, even before the mind does, that rest is near. Somewhere in the temple, a night owl calls out, a soft, questioning sound. Then silence returns, deeper than before. The sounds of the city have largely faded now. The merchants have gone home, the streets have emptied. The world is settling into the quiet of evening. You wrap your hymation more snugly around your shoulders, feeling the slight chill of approaching night. Your supervisor appears at the temple entrance and nods to you, a signal that it's time to conclude the day's work and retire to the sanctuary where the weavers sleep. You move with her back inside, back through the colonnade, back into the dimly lit chambers. The evening meal is simple: bread, cheese, figs, and water with a touch of honey. It's nourishing without being heavy, perfect for the time of day. You sit with the other weavers in the common area, and there is gentle conversation. Someone tells a story about a difficult pattern she worked through last week. Another woman talks about the meal she'll share with her family when her service to the temple concludes in the spring. The talk is calm, unhurried. No one is in a hurry to retire, yet no one is restless either. As the evening deepens further, one by one, the weavers finish their meal and retire to their simple sleeping quarters. These are modest rooms, just a sleeping mat, a small oil lamp, and a window that opens onto the night. But they are peaceful rooms, and after the intensity of the day's work, they feel like sanctuaries. There is nothing to do now but rest. The day has given everything it had to give. The threads are still. The shuttle is set down. All that remains is this quiet room, and the open window, and the deepening dark beyond it. You lie down on your mat, your body grateful for the rest. The day's work settles into your muscles as a pleasant fatigue. Your shoulders, your hands, your back. All of these have earned their rest. You pull a light linen blanket over yourself, though the night is not cold. Not yet. The linen settles against you like something familiar, like something that has always known the shape of you. Its slight weight across your chest is an anchor, a gentle, certain pressure that says you are here, you are still, you are safe. Through your window, you can see the night sky. More stars have appeared now. There are so many of them. Far more than you can count, more than you can possibly track your eyes across. They wheel slowly above, their patterns unchanged since the time of the ancient gods themselves. Athena knows them all, you think. She knows their names and their stories. The temple is quiet now. The oil lamps have been dimmed or extinguished. The looms stand empty and silent, waiting for tomorrow's hands and tomorrow's light. You can hear nothing but the faintest sounds of the night. Perhaps wind moving through the columns, perhaps the very distant sound of a stream somewhere below the temple. Perhaps only the blood moving softly through your own ears. And as you listen, even those faint sounds begin to blur at their edges, to soften and dissolve, to become less like sounds and more like the memory of sounds. The night is breathing around you, slowly, evenly, without urgency. Your breathing begins to slow and deepen naturally. Your eyelids feel heavy, and you allow them to close. The darkness behind your eyes is soft and welcoming. Your body sinks deeper into the mat with each exhale, becoming heavier, becoming part of the earth beneath the temple. The night deepens around you. In the temple courtyard, the marble stones settle into the cool of evening, releasing the heat of the day slowly into the darkness. A light wind moves through the colonnade, touching each column gently, moving across the empty looms, carrying with it the faint scent of the sacred spring. Stars continue their slow wheel above. Orion, the Great Bear, Cassiopeia. They have been there for thousands of years, and they will be there for thousands more. Their light reaches down across unimaginable distances to touch the window above you. And in this moment, as you rest, you are part of that ancient continuity. You are a thread in Athena's great tapestry, as essential as any other, as precious as the finest dyed linen. You feel yourself becoming heavier, sinking, each slow breath releasing you a little further into the mat beneath you, into the stillness of the ancient temple, into the deep and wordless dark. The sounds of the night are minimal now, barely more than a whisper of wind, the occasional distant call of a night bird, the soft rustle of leaves in the darkness. Everything is slowing. Everything is settling. The world is moving into its deepest rest, and you are moving with it. Your breathing becomes slower still. Each exhale is a release, a letting go of the day, of the pattern, of the careful counting of threads. Each inhale is a drawing in of the cool night air, of peace, of the profound quiet that exists at the heart of all things. Your hands, which have moved the shuttle thousands of times today, now rest open and relaxed at your sides. Your fingers still hold the memory of the threads, but they are at rest now, peaceful, complete. The temple around you is old, and eternal. These stones have stood for generations. Weavers before you have slept in this same darkness, hearing these same night sounds, breathing this same cool air. Weavers after you will do the same. You are part of an endless line, connected backward and forward through time by thread and stone and the eternal work of the loom. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to accomplish. The day has been completed, and now you rest. The goddess watches over the temple. The stars watch from above. You sink deeper into sleep, deeper into the earth, deeper into the profound peace of the ancient night. The last sounds fade. The darkness becomes complete. There is only the soft pulse of your own breathing, the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the fading awareness of the cool mat beneath you, the blanket above you, the sacred temple around you. And then even those fade. There is only rest, only silence, only the eternal night, holding you gently in its arms, as it has held all who have ever served in Athena's sacred temple, as it will hold all who ever will. Sleep now, rest in the shadow of the goddess. Sleep